or even maybe a little teeny bit cool. Or it was, hey, that was interesting. Anybody find one? Yes? No? You're going to share hers?
Yes.
Okay, come on up.
Actually, just write up on the board. And then
Come
explain.
right up here. Tell us what she shared with you and what your conjecture is, and then we'll see if the class thinks it's true or not.
Okay. Can I write it? And then?
You are
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Okay.
Okay.
So I write it too? On the board?
Yep.
Next one. Okay, this will be good enough. So what she pointed out is that the odd numbers, if there's an even amount of odd numbers, it's going to be an even answer. But if it's an odd amount, if it's like an odd amount of odd numbers, then it's going to be like an odd answer. So I thought that was creative.
Raise your hand if you think it might be a true conjecture. The rest of you think it's false?
I think it might be true.
Can you explain it again?
Thank you.
Okay, so if there's an odd amount or an even amount, see there's two odd numbers, right? So that's an even amount of odd numbers. Then it's going to be an even answer. But if it's an odd amount of odd numbers, see there's 3 right here, then it's going to be an odd answer. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Who else had a partner who had something that you want to share about? Okay, you're bringing your partner's idea, right? Notice what I'm doing. I'm not having the person who discovered it. I'm having. What does that do to have somebody else come up?
The teacher could be better about it.
Yeah, we'll find out how good of a teacher her partner is, right? Yeah, give me your name.
Jessica Hopkins.
While she's putting it up there, I'll just mention I'm taking their names down because they're doing presentations in front of the class. You all know what that means, right? Okay, so Stephanie and Jessica should go home tonight, or sometime you should have already printed out that log, and you should write April 22nd. I came to the board and shared a conjecture of my partner that was about a consecutive sum. And that's your record that you participated, okay, in that way. And I'm going to be asking your names early on until I get your names down better, but I've been doing this for a long time and I don't miss very many, but once in a while I do, and that's why you're making a parallel record, so that in case I've forgotten one, you'll say, here's what it is, and you'll have the details, the date, you'll have what you did, and then I'll go, yeah, I remember that, and add it to my list. Okay, go ahead.
So if you add 4 numbers together, and then the next sum of 4 numbers, then they're 4 apart.
The sums are 4 apart?
Yeah.
So you got 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, got 10, 2 plus 3 plus 4, 14, and it went up 4. Does it do that every time?
No.
Also, if you take like 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, then it would go up by 8. So like each number that you move to the right, it would consecutively go up.
Oh, so if you went from here to here, you're saying...
That's correct. Or if you went 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6.
Got 18.
Yeah.
That's 8 more than
Yeah. So if you consecutively move the number up or shift it, one place to the right, then it would increase by 4. So you're getting 4, 8, and 12. And then however.
So if I had a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah, you would increase by, I didn't go that far, but I know that it would be 4 each.
So some kind of
I don't know the rule, I don't know how it
multiple of
happens.
4?
Yeah.
It also works if you like are doing 2 numbers, then it increases by 2, and if you do 3 numbers, it increases by 3.
Yeah, so 5 and 5, 6 and 6.
Who found that? Did you find
There's
that?
2 people that actually discovered that.
What's that?
She
So-
discovered.
So, somebody whose partner discovered that, could you come up and share that? Thank you. Your partner found that? Jump up on that sideboard right
Do you
there.
want me to do it over here? Because it's the same thing.
I'm going to have her do it for right now. And your name?
Samantha?
Samantha? And you were the one that just added, right?
She did it with threes. If you have 3 numbers, then it will always go up by 3. If you're just yeah, if you use full numbers, it will go up by 4. If you use 3, it will go up by 3 if it's consecutive like that.
Okay. Is this from your partner?
No, I just had a comment.
Oh,
We kind of saw that too, but we realized that 4 and 6 weren't multiples of it. It was just adding from the last number 4. They weren't multiples of 4.
so add 4, add 4, add 4, but what?
But with 2 numbers, 3 numbers, and 5 numbers, they were actually multiples of that number.
What do you mean by that? Go up and show.
Like 6 is like 3,
Jump,
6,
jump,
9.
jump up there and.
So if it's
That's
an even number, it would just go up by 2, so like 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And if it's an odd number, then it could also be multiples of it. So like 6, 12, and 18, that's all multiples of 3.
Yeah.
And that's up by 3, which is an odd number. And then it's the same way by...
Who knows what they're talking about? Who doesn't know what they're talking about? Okay, so we got to do some clearing up. Can you go to the board and
Should we just continue? Well,
we'll go up there and continue then. Okay, and you're
I'm Hillary.
Hillary. Hillary, okay.
What if you start with 3?
Yeah.
What?
Start with 3.
Then people would get it and then...
Oh, start with 3.
Start with like 3 plus 4 plus 5.
Oh, okay.
So erase that, the 3 just the 5 plus
No,
6
just the
plus
last
7.
And start with 3.
I think that would be...
Oh, just 3 right here.
Yeah.
So that'd be 12. And then if you do 4 plus 5 plus 6 15. And then you do 5 plus 6 plus 7 18. So you're going by 3 numbers right here, but they're also multiples of 3. So like 3 times 2 would be 6, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times, they just fall under that.
But only if it's odd. It doesn't happen if it's even. The
So-
sum of the problem...
So how many of you are willing to bet $100 right now that the sum of 3 consecutive numbers is a multiple of 3? Raise your hand if you're ready to bet $100. By the way, should we be betting at BYU Idaho? Yes. Should we be gambling at BYU Idaho? No. There's a difference. Listen to the difference. If someone wants to bet with you and you aren't going to lose any money, you know you're going to get the bet correct, there is no gamble. Do you agree with me? You're not gambling. If you know you're right, there's no gamble. So if someone is dumb enough to bet with you when you know you're going to win, That's not a gamble. So it's okay to bet, but it's bad to gamble.
I can't remember which profit it was.
They might be gambling. In fact, they probably will be, right? Because they stand to lose.
I just have a quick question for everybody. Did anybody find a sequence with number 8?
No. There's also none for 4.
Just hold on. Okay, I want to share with you something. There were a few of you that raised your hand, said, I'm ready to bet $100 that any 3 consecutive numbers added together will be a multiple of 3. Why? You were one of those.
Yeah, because like each time, each of those numbers is increasing by 1. And so,
This one's one more than
right, then 1,
That
3 is
one.
1 more than 2, and 4 is 1 more than 3. So if you keep taking that all the way down, the sum is always going to be 3 more, which means it's always
that.
going to be.
It's going to be 3 more, but that doesn't mean it's going to be. That means if it starts as a multiple of 3, it'll always be a multiple of 3. But what guarantees that it's going to start as a multiple of 3? You follow what I'm saying? What you just said is, I know that they're going to be 3 apart. You proved that.
Yeah.
You didn't prove that the first one I chose would be a multiple of 3.
Proof right there.
Well, there's examples of it being that way. But yeah.
Could you throw up like 8 plus 9 plus 10 and see if that's divisible by 3? And then do something.
We could go anywhere. We could go 123 plus 124 plus 125. What is it?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
372. Right? Is it 372? Is that a multiple of 3?
Yes.
3 goes into there once, into there twice, with a remainder of 1. 124 times. Well, just because we chose one up there, does that mean it'll always be a multiple of 3? No. Let me just share with you how I know for sure that we'll never find 3 that added up that are multiple of 3. If I take the first number and let it be n, what's the second number? So I'm going to add n plus 1. What would the next number be?
N plus 2.
n plus 2. Those are consecutive sums, right? Let's add them the way you learned in Algebra 1. n plus n is 3n plus 3. That's what it's worth. Now let's use the distributive property going backwards and factor out a 3, and we get equals 3 times n plus 1. Do you agree that that is equal to that is equal to that?
Yes.
Well, if I have some number times 3, what do we know about it?
It's a multiple of 3.
It's a multiple of 3. Right? There's the proof that no matter what n is, this will always be that. Does that make sense? You would have kept your $100. By the way, I never bet with students when I'm going to lose. But it's a great question to ask, even your second grade. You ready to bet $20? You ready to bet $100? Not that you're going to bet with them. You want to find out how certain they are. Okay? And that is a critical part of mathematics. How sure are your students when they're doing things? That's important for you. Well, we ran out of time a little bit, but you'll get tonight's, on tonight's assignment, you'll see what it is, and then I'll have a place for you to upload those questions.